It's also hang out and do a Twitch stream day because it's been way too long since I have honored anything resembling a schedule with this. But as I had highlighted in, I think, previous videos, I don't necessarily Twitch stream to acquire an audience. I don't think like that's really how I'm going to acquire my audience, I guess. Like I don't tend to think of myself as a publicly presentable person, I guess. I don't know. I have no problem with public speaking, but there are more important voices in the world than mine. That said, this this magic moment is my time to kind of put my stick in the ground, my little flagpole thing, and do some fucking work. Do some work, yo. Working on the things, the fantasy things. This is a fantasy illustration, an attempt at digitally painting the Muse from the Divisible Man module that is coming out soon. So this is what I have been working on before the stream. So apparently I'm still working, I'm just not streaming, which is good. At least I'm getting some work done. I'm gonna save this. Didn't I already save this? Oh, the wrong window. Goodbye. Goodbye. I had absolute fucking heart attack a few minutes ago when my website went down for a short amount of time. So if you were trying to access Watcher DM for between like 5:45 and 6 p.m., you may have experienced some technical difficulties. If you did, I'm so sorry. I will put some effort into some redundancy. Cause holy smokes. Not good when that happens. Ain't nobody down with that shit. So, uh, probably the biggest news in the current meta is we have changed our slogan. I think we've got a direction for the company, kind of what we're angling on, what we're focusing on, which is super exciting. We're having kind of a big creatives meeting tonight, and we're going to kind of go over the plan. But if you have enjoyed the content we've made so far, pull up your underwear because the shit we're about to put out is. I think what my friend said it best. You're either going to absolutely love it or it's going to like melt your brain and you're going to hate it because it melts your brain. I am super okay with either thing happening. If you are into surreal, absurdist, weird fucking fantasy, you know, that's the goal. That's the aim. If you watch Rick and Morty, if you like Gravity Falls, if you like um fucking Midnight Gospel, Adventure Time, right? We wanna offer stuff that hits those feels without being derivative. Because I think that's the power of absurdity, right? As like if it has to be kind of not derivative. It has to not be um too cliche. It's very good for it to be fresh. And that's the plan. The plan is to focus on that missive, that directive, as a company and as a group of professionals and creatives trying to do this thing. And that gets me heck of excited because I fucking love Rick and Morty and like BoJack Horseman and all that shit. I just stokes me out. And actually, it's really funny. It kind of came from a realization I had about the product, like the D&D product that Watsy came out with. Yeah, I'm gonna fucking draw while I do this because that's what I'm supposed to be doing anyway. Um, when Watsy came out with the D&D product, what the hell? Can I get my yellow, please? I'd like my yellow. Um, for Rick and Morty, when they released the Rick and Morty Adventures, I was pretty stoked. I was like, oh, awesome! Like, I love Rick and Morty. In fact, it may have happened around the same time that I was kind of returning to Dungeons and Dragons after a bit of a hiatus. It was around the same time, and I was a huge Rick and Morty fan at that time, and not like I was. Yes, I'm a physically big person who is also a Rick and Morty fan. I'm so sure that's not nearly as unique as it sounds in this moment to me, but like I've got like the swag and the junk. I collected a stupid collection of Rick and Morty t-shirts that I still own and wear and love, because I think the comedy of Rick and Morty is funny. I like Community, I like Dan Harmon stuff. I think they're clever, good writers, and they're absurdist. And they're not the only absurdists out there. Pendleton Ward is another great. In fact, I would argue if you look at the popular culture right now, there is so much absurd, surreal art that is mainstream today that's out there as consumable media. But how do you make that happen at your table? And so, yeah, we want to make sure that that's there, right? That there's a brand representing that. So, Weird Adventures for Adventurous Weirdos, TM. Not really. Hopefully soon. Thank you, Chelsea, for the amazing idea. Very exciting. Very, very exciting. So, yeah, that's the kind of first big news, I guess. We've done a little bit of restructuring to get some more focus on that and make sure that that's happening. And I kind of probably talk for a second about addressing one of the concerns that one of my writers came to me with, and I think it's a legitimate concern, so I'm just going to fucking talk about it here. If you think anything interesting of it, you should say something. But basically, his opinion was that, like, surrealist kind of absurdist stuff is pretty flash in the pan. Like, it kind of it works and hits once, and then it's kind of, it's not like a thing. People aren't looking for that as a mechanism. And I think that the opposite is actually true. Like, it's very fun to have it as a mechanism, but not everything should be. Thank you. Thank you very much, V-Runner. It's good to see you. Not everything has to be completely absurd. Sometimes absurdity is best served from a mundane cushion, right? Like, in fact, I would argue that some of the most mundane shit in the world is also some of the most absurd. Bureaucracy, most notable among them. And poking the stick at that and having fun at its expense and kind of seeing it for the absurd human constructs that it is. Like, that kind of stuff is great. I think it's great. I think it's a fantastic theme. And I think that it is oft underrepresented in fantasy, right? Where things are, at least at some level, idyllic. There's magic in the world. You can bring people back from the dead. You're a super powerful superhero. Like, fine, cool. Do all those things, but do them in a way that's super fun. And absurd. The other night, I played a character in a game called Darkest Quest. This is me advertising my friend GMJ on startplaying.games. If you go to startplaying.games, make sure, yes, startplaying.games. If you go to this place and you sign up, you can get a professional DM to run you a game from hundreds of systems. These DMs are professional. They are very cool. Every experience I've had on there has been absolutely worth it. And the prices are totally reasonable. If you missed a game because, you had to check out, or you are looking for a long-term campaign that can run remotely, or even find local, they have options for you. I'm the kind of person who pays for my hobby anyway. And I think paying people within that hobby to do that hobby is one of the best ways to kind of invest in our community, in our hobby. So I encourage the paying of DMs when it is practical and applicable to your needs. And I have not been disappointed. So if you're on there, grab GMJ, Darkest Quest, and yeah, tell them Watcher sent you. Tell them Watcher DM sent you. It's a good setup. Anyway, I was playing in Darkest Quest, and I decided to make a character. Now, in Quest, which is the role-playing game system that we're using, there are roles instead of classes. So they are classes to an extent, but they're called roles. Anyway, these roles, one of them is Invoker, which I think, in my mind, kind of harkened to like a wizard, like an Invoker wizard from Dungeons and Dragons. But it turns out that's not what it is in Quest. In fact, it's much more akin to like a paladin, which makes a lot of sense, actually, given the context. Invocation magic is kind of like you invoke the names of things and draw their power kind of thing. which is a pretty paladinly kind of paladin moves. Anyway, um, so okay, I'm gonna switch images real quick because I did actually have another one that I was working on before, and I'm still starting to get. I wanted to start doing some more weird art, so we're gonna start adding eyes to things and doing stuff, and I got to figure out how to make it look round. It doesn't look round yet, so that's the next job. Um, I was playing an invoker that I named Anton Ego after the critic from Ratatouille, the Disney film. And I was basically playing Anton Ego. I was like 61 years old, like lanky, tall, kind of, gloomy presence, all that bullshit. But I had fashioned him the Rat King because in one of the sentences about the role of invoker, it's like, this could be a paladin, like, working for a pious god, and it says something like a vigilante of a certain type. And I was like, oh, vigilante. And I was like, vigilantes wear their underwear on the outside. That's like double cool. Like capes, you get superpowers. You usually get a theme. And I was like, Batman's taken, Ratman though. And then I was like, oh, the Rat King. And then I was like, oh, Anton Ego. So I made this Rat King character who all of his effects were supposed to be rat themed. It was pretty fun. It was an interesting character. But again, little a little weird, I think. Offbeat, uh uncensored, kind of weird. I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. Could you pass me another cocktail, please? Ew, actually, you know what? That's exactly what I fucking want tonight. I am going to. We're having cocktails tonight. Or at least a cocktail. Alright, let's go fix these fucking eyes. They look like shit. You up here. You look like you're in the wrong spot, actually, I think. Is probably the first. Because the head is turned, you're too. Yeah, you're too on this side. Although, actually, it'd be even funnier if there was just a fucking eyeball, like right here in her eyebrow. Maybe that's the right way to do it. Maybe that's the way to go with this. I need to release my. Shit. Alright, hold on a sec. I gotta merge some dupes here so I can get this to paint right. Merge down. Okay, we're good. Just move that over a little bit. Back. Select, deselect, and then just put this in here. That's an okay start. Get rid of this a little bit. More of this. Yeah, DMing for a job does sound pretty cool. It's interesting. I know a couple of people who do it, and it's it's a lot of fun. There was some conversations on the internet not long ago, people kind of decrying it as like, I would never charge for that. It's like, why not? Like, it takes you time, you deliver value, and there are people who are willing to pay you for it. You tell me why you don't charge. If you've got friends you want to give it away for free to, go nuts, right? Like that's what you're doing. Is you're providing value for no cost, which is great. How very generous of you for your friends. But if you don't know them, and like, you know, you've got to kind of work around like the stuff and figure it out, you know, how you want to do it. But if you're providing a value for people and it takes you time to prepare it and execute it and it's a skill, I don't see any reason why you wouldn't consider charging for your craft. Oh, Romas, I think you saw you can definitely become an outlet to DMs. Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I mean, actually, so that's another thing that's going on, right? Is last night we had I sponsored my first streamer, which is really cool. Um, so yeah, my friend Gregoria, amazing man from San Jose, lives in San Jose, and runs a really fun table. I watched their stuff before, and I was just like, yeah, this is authentically people having an amazing time around the table, like just being, you know, they're having good times with their memes. They're, you know, it's not so theatrical that it feels like, I don't know, scripted. Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Mama.
that's beautiful.
Oh yeah, it's coming along. Here, check it out. She's got 3 eyes.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
Here, check out the other one I did. You like this? Oh, fuck. Click the wrong, a wrong clicker. The wrong clicker.
Careful.
Yeah. Don't make me flip it. Whoa.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wowza.
Yeah. So this is
Is that her face or the back of her?
So she was wearing a veil. But I'm glad that you asked that because it means I'm not indicating enough that this is a veil. I thought it was getting lost in it. I tried to color it up because it looked good, but not that great in black and white.
Suggestion? Making her eyes really stand out.
Can't see eyes through a veil.
No, they're above the veil. The veil covers the nose. It doesn't come right over the face.
This one does.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the reason is she doesn't have a face. She's actually not real. She's a muse. She is made of poetry and song and art.
She looks like
pure
it.
art. And so yeah, it was kind of like really the reality is that the muse is not the person, right? The muse is the form and the color and the
energy.
Yeah, like all the sexy bits are kind of hinted at, right? It's that's kind of what I was trying to sell as. I don't know if that reads, and I don't know if maybe that's too abstract for a piece of art in a fantasy book, but probably not.
Maybe a suggestion if this comes up through the hair, so that it's more like in through the hair.
What are you talking about?
The
ribbon.
veil. Yeah, instead of going down, it comes up through. Like so that you see it actually going through, then it seems like it's a full face veil.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
I can give it a try. Cool, thank you. Thank you very much for dinner. Oh, Mama, can I have a cocktail?
I'd be delighted to bring you a cocktail. I did have ice cream for you tonight.
I would rather have a cocktail. Okay. I love it that I get to make these adult decisions. You like ice cream or a cocktail? Normally I would say why not both, but keto has been good to me, so we're gonna stay on that shit. Oh my god. This is so fucking good. Alright. I'm not gonna eat on stream, I promise. I just ate a little bit. My bad. And check this out, my mom got me a present. And I'll share it with you guys. I'm gonna switch to camera mode. Ooh, hi camera mode. My mom got me this. Little beautiful. Gosh, will you focus? Oh god. Okay, focus on it. There we go. Oh yeah, it actually kind of works. Yeah, it's this beautiful pyramid for wealth and tomato ball.
No.
Oh, there's a tomato there. Here it is. We have a tomato down. All right.
from lunch.
Well, shoot. Okay. Well, I have a meeting at 7:30. I have only just begun to draw, though, but dinner is here. I must take 5-10 minutes to eat dinner. Here, how can I appease you for 5-10 minutes? How can I make it up to you? Tell me what I can put on. Oh, a sec. Maybe what I can do. Ah, my website went down earlier. I freaked out so hard. I was like, what the fuck? But it came back up. It always does. I had a great day. I want to thank the Reddit community, especially for like showing up today and really following through on our content and like checking it out, giving it a read, and giving great feedback. Gotten really positive feedback the whole time. Um, and while I'm thanking people, I'd also like to thank James Semple. Check out his stuff. You can search James Semple Fantasy Music, I think. But he's a pretty well known composer. He's a fantastic composer of fantasy music. There's a bunch of fantasy scores that are by him, and he's provided me with some that I'm allowed to use commercially, and I have been waiting for the right time to put them into my stuff. But we work together. We've been working together on a project, kind of secret project, not really. Forge of Storms is a campaign setting that we plan on developing over the next year, which should be pretty cool. I think you will all like it. It's not in the same exact absurdist level as the stuff we've been doing, but some things about it are very different from our reality, and that's, I think, another kind of beautifully untapped place, where you kind of lean into the setting differences and stuff, from just a regular Earth setting. Anyway, I'm gonna take a quick break for lunch, for foods. I don't act like I can put on some music or something in the background. I will try that. Hope you enjoy it. I'll be right back. Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'm back. Sorry. We gotta go make cocktail. Thank you, Mama. So sorry. Moses Garcia, thank you for following. How kind. Um, sorry, I got sucked into an episode of The Office. It's so good. It's so good though. Oh my god. Okay. Okay. We're alive. I'm alive. Let's do living things. Get some. Got some polish on these hair human parts. Boom, boom, boom. All right. The muse in progress. Third eye weird person in progress. What else do I want to do? There are many, many things that I could do. Maybe we'll start a new drawing. Maybe that is what we will do. Let's look. Let's think about it for a second. I'm gonna go to Notion. Oh, so another exciting, very exciting thing that we're doing is we wrote a script for a video for the front page of our Patreon, introducing some of our crazy ideas. So, yeah, I'm trying. I'm getting it storyboarded right now. So thank you very much to the storyboard artist who is helping me to get that shit together. And I have so many SEO things to do. I don't even want to talk about them, but I do have them, including I got Pinterest up. So we have a Pinterest now. I tried to update my Instagram profile, but that wouldn't work. Still have to finish those. Save templates. Okay, yeah. Not interesting stuff. We're looking for adventure module stuff. What are the adventure modules that we need to work on? Ooh, there is one that I want to get working on. Create new. We're going to start a brand new piece for it. And I need to find some good reference for a desert island. Jump in the line, squash your body in time. Okay, I believe you. Just giving you the real nasty squanch. Squanchy's stand-up comedy career. That episode was so fucking good. It was awesome to have a bird person episode. Return of the bird person. Oh. These desert islands don't look like the desert islands I'm thinking of, which is weird. I think maybe the right way to approach it is just to start painting and kind of cope. We'll figure it out. Let's start with some blues, some blue greens. Here. Let's get some. It goes across the floor. Easy. And then get some nice light blue. Just kind of let that drift across the back there. A little bit. Little bits. And then probably saturate just a little bit more up into this upper spot here so we get some more vibrant blues. And then switch back to this. Bring ourselves down a little bit. And then I think what's really interesting about it is how water just kind of is a mirror, right? So the most prominent thing on it is likewise going to be the most reflected thing. So start with a little piece of landmass here. Let's just pretend one is in there. Down a couple of shapes in that color, I guess. Top this with some So I think I tried to play y'all music and it did not work. I feel bad, but only a little bit because the music here isn't really necessarily great. Sardos? Oh, am I drawing Sardis? Um, no, no. I already have like I think a pretty decent drawing of Sardis that I'm probably gonna use. Although could always use more. This is I'm kind of trying to start thinking about how I want to represent the the archipelago for Forge of Storms. So I reached out today to James, who came up with the Forge of Storms concept, and I kind of working with him was kind of the beginning of this whole crazy adventure in some way. Like he reached out to me and was like, "Hey, I've got this idea for this setting," and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, yeah, that sounds really interesting. And then I wrote like a shitload of stuff about it, about like this setting, and then I was like, "Oh, I need to learn how to write adventures." And I took the adventure writing course, and here I am because I still don't know how to write adventures. I mean, I do kind of, but like, I definitely don't. I'm not. Um, yeah, I'm not doing it on my own full show because that's kind of really hard, actually pretty hard to do. Um, but yeah, I reached out to him today and was just like, "Hey, by the way, this is what's going on," because I hadn't talked to him in a while. Uh, I was just telling him that we're, basically the plan, like what the plan is right now, and at what point we'll probably be in a position to give Forge of Storms a real college try. Because like right now, I think the question that we're trying to answer is like, first of all, does the market support the content that we're making like already? Like, does anybody want or need this stuff? What exactly are we making? When we make it, does it offer value? And so far, things are indicating yes, right? But then there's the other question of, can we make a successful Kickstarter that can allow that type of creative exercise to pay for itself? And the answer to that, of course, is I have no idea. I've never done a successful Kickstarter before. I've never done any Kickstarter before. So I'm going to be putting putting some bets on some things and saying, okay, what'll it take, and find out how much it's going to cost to get everything created. And I think I've already expressed that my plan as it stands right now is to create the whole product basically first, and then go and take that Kickstarter, say like, this is basically how much it cost us to build, and then try and recover from that, because I think that's the most realistic way of getting the product to where it needs to be. And then if we go over that, we can start going nuts on what? I have just blown my own mind. I should have known this. I don't know why I didn't know this. I feel like yeah. I feel like I've just gone a little bit crazy. I just had an epiphany. There are key bindings for changing brush, for just going back and forth through brushes. So if I have my brushes in the right order, it's super easy for me to switch to new brushes. That's awesome. Did not know that. Okay. Wow. Trip out. I was trying to change the size, I think. I hate it. Um, I don't hate it, but I kind of want to draw something else, because there's kind of more like, the setting itself is in a lot of ways like more about the inhabitants themselves, like the characters. And so I wanted to kind of try drawing some of the characters. Like little Oma here. Kind of been sitting in my head for a little while, so little grandma. I gotta love her little face. Look at her little face. Let's read this down. Kick this out. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. What the F? Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I should just do it in paint. Guess I'll just do it in paint. What the hell? What the tarnation? Okay. That's a dangerous keyboard shortcut. I don't know actually what it does. Thought it did one thing. Might do something else. It did change my brush, but it changed it. It didn't change it on my. It's not important. I don't fucking know what the hell I'm talking about. Hell's he on about, Herman? I'm out shouting at something. All right, 7 o'clock. 30 minutes out from meeting time. I'm so excited for this week's meeting, dude. We got so much shit done this week. We had a fucking banging week. It's absolutely one of the best weeks of our company so far. Also, I guess, yeah, I can announce whatever the fuck I want. I run this thing. So, if you don't know, check out any of the stuff out there for Divisible Man, which is our next module coming out, I think, next week. No guarantees. I don't guarantee content delivery times, and the reason for that is it goes out when it's done. Like, when my artists and authors are satisfied with the work to the point where we're like, oh yeah, this is going out, it goes out. So I'm still waiting on some art, and happily waiting for that art because I think it's gonna be. In fact, I know it's gonna be fucking amazing. Literally is like, if you have the opportunity, I would highly recommend getting artwork commissioned from Laura Lee. Super professional, amazing style, great technique, nails it every time. I've yet to receive a piece from her that I'm like, oh yeah, that's not working. Like, you know, or we need to change direction or something. It's, I think Austin said it best the other day. He was like, yeah, with Laura Lee, it's like she doesn't come to you with like, oh, are these the themes? It's like she got the themes so spot on with the first just talking about it that the sketches she laid out were like, yeah, our work here is done. We have nothing to add. That's all like the next one. I think the only thing she'd given us like a couple of angles of some really good stylized stuff is those mummies, the moth mummy. And they were so fucking good. And also was like, well, I think I like the one that, you know, is kind of to the side a little bit better. And that's the only. Oh, Amy Smart. Hey, Smart Odyssey. Coming and downloading the new content, the old content. You got Moon Elves? Did you pick up Moon Elves today? Smart Odyssey, thanks for coming by. Thanks for coming by the website. Smart Odyssey is yet another fantastic fantasy creator in our little community. Yeah, you can find them, I think, a Smart Odyssey on Instagram. I think they also have a website. Let me double check. Smart Odyssey. Here we go. Oh, I think I got a comment. Okay, yes, that's what I thought it was. Okay, so the Smart Odyssey has a fantastic collection of NPCs and tokens. She customizes NPCs. It's really cool. So if you're looking to, like, you know, you got something you want to run and you have kind of a unwritten NPC, you know, a little bland Jane. Don't get me wrong. I love a blank canvas in that context sometimes, but couldn't hurt, right? You probably can't hear the music at all, can you? Yeah, I think that's probably true. Yep, that's hella funny. I'm sitting here listening to music all by myself, like, oh, this is for me, dude. Alright, put that down. Yeah, I just turned it on. I figured it out. Look at the screen, game. Let me know if the music's distracting. I'll turn it back off. It doesn't really matter. Actually, here I'm gonna add a little. We're gonna change over to a browser here. There it goes. Yeah. Oh god. It actually is on a browser. Fuck. That's probably not intended. What is this? I don't even know. God, it's my Facebook. Don't look at my Facebook. I'm not in any way embarrassed for the shit in my Facebook enough. But I do need to change it to be browser I'm actually looking at, which is English video. Okay. Does it? A Smart Odyssey. Yeah, also a Smart Odyssey, which is cool. They have a Patreon and a Facebook page. Yeah, they make these little characters, tokens, and then they make detailed things about them, which is pretty cool. I am going to be talking to them about doing that for some of our products so that we can get some fun stuff to add in to our existing offerings. Because never hurt to have more stuff in the thing. Fuck, what was I gonna show you? I love this piece of artwork. Oh god. So fucking good. It's actually hella funny. Oh, that was the other thing I was gonna talk about. Yeah. So, Paul Brown illustration. So, this is the thing. Some of you may know, some of you may not. The Quest TTRPG game I was talking so highly of earlier, is Creative Commons, I think. It's Creative Commons license. And so we are going to be creating the first of hopefully many Quest adventures designed for that system. And so Jesse Brown, the GMJ, the one I was playing with the other day, is writing our first one, Tomb of the Vampire General, which is very exciting stuff. In fact, it is, I think, written. It is at this point submitted. We need to double check with him, because actually, if it is submitted, I think I might need to pay him. This is the artist we're having work on it, because it's his brother, and holy shit, this art's really good. It's very fun, and I love the style. Who doesn't want to play this guy, right? I want to be that guy. Everything except for the police officer part, but talk about big Ghibli energy. I love these characters. I love the characterizations. I love how it looks. I think the style is amazing. And then it gets weird. It gets really fucking weird. It gets cartoon weird. And this is where we're going. This is where the Watcher DM brand is going to shine, is working with stuff like this, where we're like, yeah, cool. Very cool. It hits my fantasy feels. Also, fuck your fantasy feels. Pig XI skeleton. Hydra. Monster. Yeah. It's going to be good. It's going to be amazingly good. I'm so excited. Okay. I think that's about it. That's all I really had to show on my browser. I don't know why I came over here on my browser. I was talking though about, there was another thing. Me. Oh good. Oh no. It was a lot all at once. Thank you. It was a lot all at once. Holy shit. 8 people at a table. Fucking run some shit with 8 people at a table. Normally you never get like a second turn. In ours, we definitely got second turns. Quest is the just keep adding turns game. I think we also took on basically the entire dungeon at once. All in one move. Which is pretty cool. But yeah, Gregoria is streaming Dungeons and Dragons content, is doing the Descent into Avernus right now, third party, and they are going to be playing our content on stream, which is very exciting. So yeah, we're gonna get to see some Doom Desert and some Moon Elves, and almost certainly some Divisible Man, for sure. Happy Grandma. Dig it. I'd eat cake with that lady. You made it weird. Why'd you have to make it weird? Oh God, my cocktail's empty. Please, quickly, another cocktail. Just kidding. We'll be fine. 7:10. What am I? Is there anything I need to prep? Potion. Actually, I'm so over prepared for today's meeting. I don't think I need to do anything. Although one thing since you're all here, might as well pitch it. I think under Dungeon Master content, created a new settings page, and I put some working names down there right now for settings. For the kind of what we have so far. So we kind of have Surreality. Is what I'm calling Doom Desert and Divisible Man and Moon Elves. I kind of consider the Lycan stuff to be kind of emerging from darkness. It's not really... It's trippy fantasy, but it's pretty rooted in like Euro fantasy, like just normal European fantasy. Forge of Storms, which is the thing I was just talking about, and then Storms on the Savannah, which is a Savannah based, like a Savannah ecological setting. But it's also going to have some pretty cool absurdist shit in it. So I think all of them are going to get some treatment. And actually, I think the reaction that I got from most of the writers was like, "Oh yeah, cool!" Like that time when you took that thing and like turned it up a notch by having Austin kind of put in some like, yeah, that's exactly. And so yeah, Austin's gonna be VP of product, which is very exciting. Be guiding our product vision going forward. And I'll tell you, having a product vision turns out pretty important. The next thing we need to do though is plan the product to have, especially for the 2022 Kickstarter. I'm making the blues. Oh, go. If the least I can do is rush blood to your extremities, I think we're pretty good. Not those extremities. God, get your hand out of the fucking gun. All right. Let's draw something silly here. I was on kind of a tear earlier about just drawing silly shit. I was just kind of having like a fun time with like, just do a shape, like a little doodle shape, and then just kind of. Just play with it until you get something to kind of come out of it. It doesn't have to make any sense. Doesn't even really have to be any good. It could just be, I am cookie jar head. My head is also a cookie jar. Reach inside, hand me a cookie. I don't have hands. I am only a head. That kind of shit, you know? It does kind of look like a cookie jar too, doesn't it? A little dunk. Just needs some flowers on it. Okay. I don't know. Had a great there was a great post on the internet earlier that I was looking at that was like it was, the idea was pretty simple, but you have your Oh, yay! Cha-chingy! Cha-chingy-ding! Oh! Thank you for picking up the other one. Yeah, always down to get that come back and see us again sometime experience. So, you take a chest, like so. Let's do this. I guess we'll put a little lock on it down here, so it is a locked chest. Whatever. And then the idea is you put like googly eyes on it, and like kind of tape on some, make your little mimic, put like a sign above it, like beware mimic. And then it's just a chest, right? So the mimic is just it's a mimic for the wizard on the cheap. Yeah. Who just cannot get it. I think the way that they described it I liked much better, which is pretty funny. It's like they killed a mimic and they just turned it into a chest. It's like a taxidermied mimic, which I kind of liked. But I also just like the idea of, the wizard who could not himself catch a mimic just being like, well, maybe I can slap some googly eyes on and put a tongue in a little fucking. Let's try and do this properly then. So we're gonna get this and big open and a chest thing. And I think what you do is you just kind of get rid of the idea that there's actually a hinge there, like the hinge is part of the throat or something. Big old fucking gnarly. Right into the inside of the chest. Like that. Here we can do the same thing. Oh, this is like this. Like that. And some. And then maybe it's like you get to this part here, a little chest thing here. Yeah, throw some fucking little eye danglers there, like, whoa, dude, I'm gonna fucking kill you, bro. Angry chest. Fear my adventure eating ass. I kind of love my little mimic. It's so funny. It's a silly boy. Greg Oden! That's my boy. Thank you so much for coming and visiting me on stream, and thank you again for the awesome ad read last night, and yeah, mentioning us on your stream. As it was happening, I was doing this, and I know Austin also had his wife being like, huh? This is the name. This is the name on the show and the thing, and that we were all excited about it because it's exciting. It's nice to see everybody making stuff. And it's awesome when friends can promote each other's stuff. I just think that's so It's absolutely been instrumental to Watcher DM making it at all. Actually, it's kind of cool. I had this awesome moment with Stevie yesterday. So Stevie Alator is like one of my longtime friends. We used to date, and like we started kind of playing D&D together like a few years ago. And so she's kind of one of the most recent people that I've really spent a lot of time playing Dungeons and Dragons with. And it was a lot of her encouragement and patience with me that facilitated like a lot of the D&D that I was playing, and kind of also just like a lot of the craft stuff I was doing. I was doing like all kinds of like making minis and making terrain, and she'd be constantly giving me feedback and stuff. And since I started Watch Your DM, she's been a patron of mine like literally day one. She came on and was like, "I'm your patron." Cool. Like never has never asked me like, "Oh, when do I get content?" You know, like nothing like that. She's just like, "Nope, I support you. This is great. You make great stuff. I want to support that." And I was like, "Oh man, that's so sweet." And so it was kind of cool yesterday. The thing is that she's not a dungeon master. She's never really wanted to be a dungeon master, so she doesn't really have a ton of use for a lot of the content we've created. And so she doesn't really read it. Like she glimpses it, she looks at the art, she likes that. But I asked her, I was like, "Have you even looked at the credits in any of the books that we made?" She was like, "No. Why would I?" I was like, "Well, you're one of my like patrons, so I credit you in the material that I make." And she's like, "Oh my god!" She got all excited about it. So it was super cool. So I guess that's my holla to you. If you are interested in being credited in a Watcher DM product, which is guaranteed to be at least 20% stranger than your average Dungeons and Dragons module, you should join our Patreon, where that will happen kind of automatically every time you publish something. I'll also probably give you a shout out and like send you like cute cards on holidays and things. Cards with novel and beautiful characters like Rupus the Butt Muncher. He eats butts. Know what I'm saying? Alright. Well, this is awesome. I think this is the most viewers I've had at a time in a really long time. Thank you, 5 viewers, for coming to view and see us. I unfortunately literally have a meeting at 7:30 with the creative team from Watcher DM, so we're going to get into a little meeting and kind of go over to all of our stuff. Oh my god, there's a bajillion things on the Facebook that I didn't see. These look really cool, man. That's so cool. Love the strange out there things you guys have made. Yeah, we're fucking having a great time. Oh, thank you for joining the Patreon. Oh my god, my really good friend Kishan joined the Patreon today, and I was like, ah. And then earlier this week, amazing friend of mine, Mr. Interrupt from Oakland. If you are into weird music scene, by the way, the two names I just said, Filini and Mr. Interrupt, go check them out. You don't know weird music until you've seen these guys. They're experimental, both of them. They're each unique and awesome. And some of my most beloved people in the world. And Mr. Interrupt went and bought on our web store all of the modules. Just all of them. One of each of them. I was like, that is so kind. And Kishan went and joined our Patreon, which I could not be more pleased to be delivering to such a lovely audience. I love you all so much. I have to fucking go, otherwise I would stay here telling you how much I adore you all. But that's not gonna happen, otherwise the job won't get done. So, but I do promise I will come back soon. I'll come back for you soon. But if you can find your own way out.